everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. Baseball testing continues tonight with a game of Payoff Pitch Baseball from Sideline Strategy Games. This time we're venturing back to 1991 for tonight's game, so let's go meet our starting pitchers. We're venturing back to July 17th, 1991 today, as the San Francisco Giants are our visitors today. Starting pitcher for the Giants is Buddy Ryan, 12-16 with a 3.99 ERA in 91. I was expecting pitching stats there, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any of those here. Oh, 104 strikeouts and 71 walks given up in 91. Helps if I can read. I was looking for K to be strikeouts, but helps to actually think about it a little bit more. But that's it for our visiting starting pitcher. Now let's go meet our home starting pitcher and take our first look at the ballpark tonight. On July 17th, 1991, the Giants were in New York to play the Mets. Starting pitcher for the New York Mets is Frank Viola. 13-15 with a 3.97 ERA. Gave up 25 homers and 132 strikeouts in 91. We're also taking a look at Shea Stadium, which is a bit friendlier to left-handed batters than it is to right-handed batters, at least on the wheelhouse checks. Anyway, that's it for our look at our home pitcher and our stadium. Let's move over to the main game area and check the shot over there. We look to be all set here. I'm just kind of checking out the shot here. I'm trying out the new board that I got from that What About Baseball game that I unboxed on the channel. I recorded the unboxing last night, but it actually went up earlier tonight. Things got a little bit haywire with the Dune Imperium video yesterday, so I ended up uploading that video overnight into this morning. So I also put a product unboxing up on the channel before that, so that's where this game came from. But I think everything looks to be all set here, so let's once again play ball. Here's our first look at the lineup for the Giants. We've got Darren Lewis in center field. Mike Felder is in right. Will Clark is at first base. Kevin Mitchell's in left field. Matt Williams is at third. Robbie Thompson is at second. Steve Decker is catching. Dave Anderson's at shortstop. And, of course, Buddy Black will be batting on card number 9 today, I think. Yes. So we'll restack them because I had them set up in a specific way. And coming to the plate first is Darren Lewis. He had versus... Okay, looks like he's a left-handed pitcher, so we'll need the left splits there. We've got our dice here. We're going to use orange and white and blue and white dice. Mets are the home team tonight. So with that set, let me find my pen here. Get something I can write on so I can keep results. And we are ready to play ball. So let's get down to the mound for the first pitch. All right, that's a 9, which is a tough 43. Tough 43. He's going to end up with a single out of that. So Darren Lewis will get on with a leadoff single. That'll bring Mike Felder to the plate. We won't worry about stats there. Infield will move to double play depth. Viola already giving up a base hit right off the bat. That'll get slapped past the shortstop. Felder Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. All right, that's a 9, which is another tough. This time it's a 31. And against a lefty, yeah, that would have been a single anyway. All right, a 31 against that actually might be a wild pitch now that I think about it. Does he have a wild pitch rating on here? He does, but it's exactly 30, so it's not a wild pitch. But a 31 for Felder, he's a switch right, but he's against a lefty, so a 31 is going to end up with another single. This is not a good sign for... That one will get past first. And Viola already having issues tonight, as the batter now is Will Clark. We might try to bunt them over, but the way the Giants are swinging so far, I don't think bunting is a good idea right now. So once again, Viola is trying to settle down here. He'll get the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. That's a 6. That's a patient 64. I don't think he's that patient. Actually, he is that patient, so we're going to load the bases right away. And I forgot to flip a fast action card to see what happens on a single, but we'll do that now. Line drive into center field. Runner on first advances one base. Runner on second scores. So Lewis will come in to score. Felder will go to second. Clark will go to first. And just like that, the Giants are going to find themselves on the board after 3 straight singles with a 1-0 lead. Stadium groans. Ugh. Next batter will be Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell, as we recall, is in left field today. Infield still at double play depth. Viola having problems getting anybody out today. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone. They're going to go talk to him at the mound, tell him to settle down. Cerrone gives him a sign, and here's the pitch. That's a 6. That's a patient 77. I don't think he's that patient, though. 77. Nope, that's going to get skied to center field. Getting under that will be Carrion. He'll make the catch, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Infield still at double play depth as Matt Williams steps into the batter's box. The Giants already with a 1-0 lead. Viola trying to settle down and get out of this inning. Waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 7 is an in-play 67. I think 67 is going to be too high. Yep, 67 is going to be way too high against a lefty. 67 will be grounded to second. Now we got to see if they turn a double play. 6, 7. On a 2D6 is a double play if it's a 6 or less. That is just barely a 6, but that'll be side retired. So that'll be a 4-6-3 twin killing, as the Mets will get out of the inning with only 1 run, but 3 consecutive singles to start off the inning. And it is now 1-0 San Francisco, as Buddy Black will take the hill for the first time, finishing up his warm-up tosses. And we'll take our first look at the Mets starting lineup. Taking a look at our starting lineup here tonight. We've got Keith Miller in left field, and he's our leadoff hitter. Dave Magadan is at first base. Greg Jeffries at second. Hubie Brooks in right. Howard Johnson at third base. Mark Carrion is in center field. Kevin Elster is at shortstop. Rick Cerrone's catching, and Frank Viola, our pitcher, is hitting off of card number... That's actually 7 he should be hitting off of, not 3. So I'll get the right pitcher hitting card. And we'll line everything back up here because I had a specific setup. There we go. Keith Miller is our leadoff batter for the Mets in the bottom half of the first. Black will wait for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. Let's put that one through the tower. 6 will be an in-play 84. I think 84 is way too high, though, on an in-play. Yep, that's going to get grounded to short. Picking that up will be Anderson. He'll flip it over to first for the first out of the inning. 1 away as Dave Magadan steps into the batter's box. Black will wait for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 10, that's a wheelhouse check, but a 73 or 75 is going to be way too high. He's going to hit it on the screws, and that's going to get skied to center field, but it's going to die out there as as Lewis will be backed up to the track, backed up just about a couple feet before the track, but he'll have enough room to pull that one in, and that will be the second out of the inning. And coming up to bat next will be Greg Jeffries. He'll bat righty against Buddy Black, who's the lefty. Black waits for the sign in Decker, and here's the pitch. Boxcars is a defense check. Who are we checking here? Possible error on the third baseman. The third baseman tonight is Matt Williams. His error level is a 4. So that's going to be a D100 roll. On a 36 and up, he'll make the play. That's a 52. He's got that one easily. He'll flip that over to Clark at first. And 1, 2, 3 will go the Mets. After 1, score is 1-0 Giants. We'll get ready for the top of the second next, where the bottom half of the San Francisco order is due up next. Viola will finish his warm-up tosses for the top of the second, and stepping into the batter's box will be Robbie Thompson. Viola will get the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 5 is a tough 4. Tough 4 against the lefty. Thompson's going to go after a curveball on the outside corner, and that will be the first out of the inning. Next up will be the catcher, Steve Decker. Viola gets a sign from his catcher, and here's the pitch. 3, that's a defense check. We are checking this time for a possible error on the shortstop. That ball is hit to Dave Anderson. His error rating is a 2. He stunk out there. So 64 and up, he will make the play. That's a 67. He will just barely make the play. He'll bobble it for a little bit, but then he'll flip it over to first. Wait a second, shortstop. That's Kevin Elster. That's a 3, which is going to be actually a little bit cleaner. So Elster will get that one. He'll move it over to Magadan at first, and that'll be the second out of the inning. It would help if I look at the right team. Also grab the right player. Next up is Dave Anderson for the Giants, the shortstop. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 23. In-play 23 against the lefty is going to be too high. That'll be popped up to second base. Getting under that will be Jeffries, and that'll be a quick 1, 2, 3 inning for the Giants as they don't get anything happening there. Coming in for the bottom of the second for the Mets, we've got the middle of their order up. First up against Buddy Black will be Hubie Brooks. Black will wait for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 8 will be a tough 43. Tough 43 against the lefty. That's going to be lined right out to the shortstop, where Anderson will put his glove up almost in self-defense as that ball was coming right at him for the first out of the inning. Next up for the Mets is the third baseman, Howard Johnson. Black gets the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 5 is going to be an in-play 51, but I think a 51 is going to be too high on an in-play check. Yep, that will get grounded to first. Waiting for that is Williams. He'll throw it over to first, where Clark will wait for that, and that'll be a nice, easy 5-3 putout for the second out of the inning. Next up is the center fielder today, Mark Carrion. Black waits for the sign from Decker, and here comes the windup in the pitch. 6 is an in-play 46. Against a lefty, that's going to be too high, though. 46 is going to get grounded right back to Black. He'll take that himself, move it over to Clark at first base, and 1, 2, 3 will once again go the Mets. And after 2, the 3 consecutive singles in the top of the first remain our difference. Remain the reason why this is a 1-0 San Francisco game. Top of the third coming up, and we've got the bottom of San Francisco's order due up next. Top of the third now, and coming up to bat for the Giants will be the pitcher, Buddy Black. He'll be batting off of pitcher card 9 today. Viola gets the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. All right, 7 is going to be an in-play 48. I think in-play 48 is going to be way too high. Yep, that'll be way too high. That will get grounded to third. Waiting for that will be Johnson. He'll throw it over to Mogadon at first, and that'll be 1 out on the inning. Next up, we'll have the center fielder, Darren Lewis. He led the game off with a single back in the first. Viola will wait for the sign from Cerrone, and here comes the pitch. 4 is a tough 22. This time he will strike out. He'll strike out looking at the heat as Viola will rear back and blow that one right by him for the second out of the inning. That's the first strikeout for Viola. That's the second strikeout for Viola today. Stepping into the batter's box now is the right fielder, Mike Felder. He is 1 for 1 as well. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 20. An in-play 20 against the lefty. That's going to be good for another single, so Felder will reach base with another single. Next up will be the first baseman, Will Clark. He's also 1 for 1 with a single. He drove in the lone San Francisco run so far. Infield is not going to worry about double play depth because the next out gets them out of the inning. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 6 is a patient 41. I don't think he's that patient, though. Actually, he is that patient. He's going to end up with a double. Let's see what happens on the double. That's down the line into right field for a double. Runners advance 2 bases. So Felder will end up at third. Clark will end up at second. And just like that, the Giants have something cooking with 2 outs. As the batter now is Kevin Mitchell. Mitchell is 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. Viola trying to settle down after giving up a double, a two out double. He'll get the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 5 is a tough 1. He will go swinging at a changeup as he tries to extend the lead with one swing of his bat. That'll be strike 3 swinging, and that will retire the side. No runs on 2 hits, and the score will remain 1-0 San Francisco. Just making sure I have my order straight. We're all good there. Black will now finish his warm-up tosses on the express plan, as coming up to bat will be the bottom of the New York order. First up, we'll take our first look at Kevin Elster on the day. Black will get the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 10 is a wheelhouse check. A 19 against the lefty is going to be too high, but he will end up with a single out off of that. That's a base hit. He hit that one on the screws, but basically right out of the infield. So he got a hold of one. So Kevin Elster will have the first Met hit of the game. Infield will move to double play depth, as the batter now is Rick Cerrone. Black is waiting for the sign from Decker, and he'll settle in on the stretch, and here's the pitch. 6 is an in-play 85. I'm pretty sure in-play against the lefty is going to be 85 is going to be way too high. Yep. That'll get grounded to short. Picking that up will be Anderson. 7 versus a 9. 7 or less is a twin killing. That's an 8, so they'll get Elster at second, and Cerrone will reach on the fielder's choice. Infield will stay at double play depth. So that'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice. 1 out in the inning, as the batter now is Frank Viola. He will be batting on batting card 7 today. Infield still at double play depth. Black waits for the sign and the pitch. 8 is a tough 32. That's not a wild pitch. So a tough 32. He's going to strike out. That'll be a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Viola thought it was outside. He can't believe it, but it was called strike 3. As coming back to the plate will be Keith Miller with 2 outs. Miller is 0 for 1. Black waits for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 9 is an in-play 33. In-play 33 is going to be just a little bit too high. That's going to get popped up to second base. Getting under that will be Thompson. He'll pull it in and retire the side. One hit and no runs. After 3, score remains 1-0 San Francisco. We'll get ready for the top of the 4th with the middle of San Francisco's order due up next. Viola finishes his warm-up tosses in time for Matt Williams to step into the batter's box. Williams is 0 for 1. He grounded into the double play that ended the first. Viola will wait for the sign, and here's the pitch. 6 is a patient 31. Is Williams that patient against the lefty? He is. He'll get a single. He'll get a base hit on that right past second. Doesn't really matter where it goes when the bags are empty. Infield will move double play depth as Robbie Thompson is going to be the batter. He's 0 for 1. He struck out swinging back in the second. Viola waiting for the sign from Cerrone. Looks over at Williams over at first, but probably not a threat to do much on the bases. Here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 41. Against the lefty, he's going to strike out swing. Robbie Thompson is going to go chasing a splitter out of the zone. And that will be the first out of the inning, along with the 4th strikeout of the day for Viola. Viola is starting to settle in after giving up the trio of singles, leading to the only run so far back in the first. Batter now is Steve Decker. He is 0 for 1. Infield still at double play depth. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch without dropping dice. 4 is a tough 20. And that's going to be another call. That's going to be a called strike 3 this time on the inside corner. Viola seems to be settling in nicely. That's his 5th strikeout of the day. As Decker heads back to the batter's box, and now 2 outs. As the batter now is Dave Anderson. Dave Anderson popped out to second his first time up. Viola hoping to get out of the inning with no further damage. Viola waits for the sign, and here's the pitch. Let's put the white D10 through the tower. All right, a 6 and 11 is a ballpark check, but an 80 is going to be way too high. He's a righty. Oh yeah, an 80 is going to be an in-play check. So we'll re-roll the in-play check for Anderson. An 11 against the lefty. He's going to end up with a base hit. Where's it going? That's a grounder right up the middle into center field. So Williams is going to end up at third, and Anderson will end up at first. So we'll have runners at the corners with 2 outs, and that'll bring Buddy Black up to the plate. Black is 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Viola looking suddenly at runners at the corners, trying to get out of the inning without any trouble. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 7's an in-play 92. I'm pretty sure 92 is way too high on an in-play check. Yep, that's going to be way too high. That's going to get skied to left field. Getting under that will be Miller. He'll make the catch and retire the side. 2 hits, but no runs, and the score remains 1-0 San Francisco. Black will finish his warm-up tosses as the 2, 3, 4 of New York's orders due up next for the bottom of the 4th. First up will be Dave Magadan. He is 0 for 1 today. Black will wait for the sign, and here comes the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 58. Against the lefty, a 58 is going to be a fly ball to left field. Getting under that will be Mitchell. He'll make the catch for 1 out in the inning. Next up in the batter's box is Greg Jeffries. Jeffries is 0 for 1. Black waits for the sign from Decker, and here comes the pitch. The windup and the pitch. 9 is an in-play 11 against a lefty. That's going to be a base hit right up the middle. So Jeffries will end up at first. As just the second Met runner on the day. Infield will move to double play depth. As the batter now is Hubie Brooks. Brooks is 0 for 1. He lined out to short his first time up. Black looks over at Jeffries, who could potentially do something on the base paths, but Brooks is going to swing away. Black will wait for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 6 is an in-play 87 against the lefty, and 87 is likely to be way too high. Yep, that's going to get grounded to short. So picking that up will be Anderson. 7-6, double play on a 6 or less. No. Jeffries will be out at second on the 6-4 fielder's choice. There'll be 2 out in the inning. Jeffries is out. Brooks will reach on the fielder's choice. As next up will be Howard Johnson. He's 0 for 1. Black trying to get out of the inning with nothing happening. They'll get the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 8 is a tough 83. Tough 83. That's going to get grounded to short. Picking that up will be Anderson. He'll throw it over to Clark at first, and that will retire the side. No runs and a hit. And after 4, score remains 1-0 San Francisco. We'll get ready for the top of the 5th, as the top of San Francisco's order is due up next. Top of the 5th coming up. Viola will finish his warm-up tosses. First up will be Darren Lewis. He's 1 for 2 with the single that started everything back at the start of the game. Viola gets the sign from Cerrone, and here comes the pitch. All right, a 6 is a patient 71. Against a lefty, he'll be patient enough to land a triple out of that. So Darren Lewis is going to end up at third base. Wow, he's going to get that one pretty hard. That'll end up going all the way to the wall, and Lewis will find himself with a leadoff triple to start the inning. Next up will be Mike Felder. Mike Felder is 2 for 2. Infield will play in to try to prevent the run from scoring. Viola will wait for the sign from Cerrone, and here comes the pitch. 10 is a wheelhouse check, but a 74 against the lefty is way too high. That's going to get skied to center field. Getting under that will be Carrion. He'll make the catch for 1 out. Now, I know there's rules for tagging up. I don't remember how you do that, though. Let me see if it's in the rule book to see if we can... Probably challenging the arm. Is there a way we can do sacrifice flies? It might be on the... I didn't see anything about that on the base running cards. Or on the fast action cards. I don't... I'm looking to see if there's anything on the sacrifice bunt. There's got to be a way to do sacrifice flies. I was hoping there would be one on the... I was hoping there would be a way to do sacrifice flies on the fast action cards, but I don't think there is. I'm sure somebody who's playing a lot more of this game than I am... if the pitcher result was wheelhouse or patient to begin the at-bat, and I think... Actually, we were wheelhouse, so Lewis will automatically score. So that'll be a sacrifice fly by Felder. That'll bring Lewis in to score. So that's going to be a sacrifice fly. And it will now be 2-0 Giants. Stadium groans. Ugh. As the batter now is Will Clark. He is 1 for 2. He's got a single and a double tonight. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 23, and he's going to strike out looking at a curveball that just catches the outside corner for strike 3. Two out, and Kevin Mitchell will step into the batter's box next. Mitchell is 0 for 2. He's flown out and struck out tonight. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 6 is a patient 91. I don't think he's that patient, though. Almost that patient, but no, that's going to get grounded to short. We're picking that up. Will be Elster. He'll flip that over to first, and that will retire the side. So 1 run, so 1 hit and 1 run on a sacrifice fly, and the score is now 2-0 San Francisco as we move into the bottom of the 5th. Black will finish his warm-up tosses as the middle of New York's orders due up next. Leading off the bottom of the 5th will be Mark Carrion. Carrion is 0 for 1. Black will get the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 9 is going to be an in-play, but I think a 51, yep, a 51 is going to be too high. That's going to get grounded. That's going to get grounded to first. Clark will grab that, and he'll take it to the bag himself for 1 out in the inning. Next up is Elster, the shortstop. Elster is 1 for 1. He's got a base hit on the night. Black will wait for the sign from Decker. He'll wind up and he'll pitch. 5 is going to be an in-play 45, but I think an in-play 45 is going to be too high. That's going to be grounded right back to Black. He'll move that over to Clark at the bag. 2 quick outs in the inning. And that will bring Cerrone up to the plate. Cerrone is 0 for 1. He hit into a fielder's choice back in the 3rd. Yes, back in the 3rd. Black hoping for a nice quick 1-2-3 inning. Let's see if the windup and the pitch cooperates with him on that. Snake Eyes is a defense check, so who are we checking? For an error on the first baseman. Going after that ground ball over to first is Clark. His error rating's a 5. And he was actually good out there. A 25 and up, he'll make the play. That's an 85. He'll make that easily. He'll take that to the bag himself. And retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets in the bottom of the 5th. And after 5, 2-0 in favor of the Giants. We'll get ready for the top of the 6th with the middle of San Francisco's order due up next. Leading off the top of the 6th for the Giants will be the third baseman, Matt Williams. Williams is 1 for 2. He's singled and hit into a double play. Viola waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here comes the pitch. That's going to be a tough 2, and that's going to be a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Williams thought it got him, but instead he got on the heat on the inside corner. So 1 away. We'll bring Robbie Thompson up to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Thompson knows a thing or two about striking out tonight. He's struck out twice. Viola gets the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 78. In-play 78 should be way too high for anything. That'll get skied to center field. Getting under that one will be Carrion. He'll make the catch, and there'll be 2 quick outs in the inning. As the next batter will be Steve Decker. Decker is 0 for 2 tonight. He's struck out and grounded out. Viola waits for the sign, and here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 63. Tough 63. That's going to get grounded to second. Getting to that one will be Jeffries. He'll flip it over to Matt Magadan at first, and that will be a 1-2-3 inning for the Giants. After 5.5, still 2-0 in favor of the Giants. Bottom of the 6th now, Mets are trying to get something going on. Unfortunately, their leadoff hitter is Frank Viola. He is 0 for 1. He struck out looking back in the 3rd. Black will get the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 5 is going to be an in-play 32. That'll be too high. That'll get grounded to first, where Clark will grab that. He'll take it to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. Next up will be the left fielder, Keith Miller. Miller is 0 for 2. Black will wait for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 6 is an in-play 42. In-play 42 is going to be too high. That's going to get grounded right back to Black. He'll flip that over to Clark for the second out of the inning. 2 away will bring Dave Magadan back up to the plate. He is 0 for 2. He's flown out twice today. Black waits for the sign from Decker, and here comes the windup and the pitch. 11 is a patient 1. I don't think he is that patient to work a walk out of it. So Magadan will end up with a 2-out walk. And that'll bring Jeffries up to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He's got a single on the day. Black looking over at Magadan somewhat nervously. We'll see what happens here, though, as Black gets the sign from Decker. He'll settle in on a stretch, and here comes the pitch. 8 is a tough 45. Tough 45. That's going to get grounded right to first, where Clark will once again take that to the bag himself and retire the side. Nothing except for the walk for the Mets, and the score remains 2-0 Giants. We'll get ready for the top of the 6th with the bottom of San Francisco's order due back up. Top of the 7th now, still 2-0 Giants, as Dave Anderson makes his way into the batter's box with Viola finished with his warm-up tosses. Anderson's 1 for 2. He had a single back in the 4th. Viola will wait for the sign from Cerrone, and here comes the pitch. 8 is going to be an in-play 27. In-play 27 against the lefty is going to be just too high. That's going to get popped up on the infield. Getting under that will be the second baseman, Jeffries. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Next up is going to be Buddy Black, and he is going to hit. Buddy Black, though, is 0 for 2. Viola will wait for the sign, and here's the pitch. 7 is an in-play 28. That'll be just a little bit too high. That's going to get popped up on the infield once again. This time getting under that will be Johnson. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Coming into the batter's box is Darren Lewis. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a triple, although he's also struck out looking tonight. Viola will get the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a patient 52. He's going to be patient enough to work a walk out of that, so he's reached for the 3rd time tonight. Next batter will be Felder. Felder is 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly that scored a run earlier. Viola trying to get out of the inning without any damage done other than the walk. He'll get the sign from Cerrone, settle in on the stretch, and here comes the pitch. 3 is going to be a defense check. Who are we checking here? Range play on the first baseman. So that ball's hit the first base. Going after that is Magadan. His range is a C, so he wants a 47 and up to make the play. Let's not drop dice, Phoenix. 47 and up to make the play. That's an 87. He'll make that play easily. He'll take that to the bag himself and retire the side. Nothing across except for the Giants, nothing across for the Giants except for the walk. I'll say that right one of these days. Score is 2-0. Score remains 2-0 San Francisco. We are at the 7th inning stretch, and as per usual, I won't torture you guys with my rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. What I will regale you with, however, is the knowledge that after this inning, Buddy Black will be tired. So we will need to keep an eye on that. I'll get a couple of cubes ready for that. Let's see, so the Mets are bringing the heart of their order up. Hubie Brooks is due up to start the 7th. He is 0 for 2, though. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th. Black will get the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a wheelhouse check, but a 90 is going to be way too high against a lefty. 90, that's going to get grounded to short. We're getting to that. Will be Anderson. He'll move it over to Clark at first, and that will be the first out of the inning. Next up will be the third baseman, Johnson. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Black gets the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 28. Against the lefty, that's going to be a called third strike on the inside corner. Johnson had it right there. He should have swung at it, but that'll be the second out of the inning, as we'll bring Carrion back up to the batter's box. Carrion is 0 for 2 tonight. Black will get the sign from Decker, and here comes the pitch. Black, it's a tough 59. Tough 59 against the lefty. That's going to get grounded to third. Williams will get to that. He'll move it over to Clark, and that will be a 1-2-3 inning for the Mets. Nothing happening there. Score remains 2-0 San Francisco, as Black, is now tired. So we'll give him a fatigued starting pitcher as a reminder of that. I was getting a couple of cubes ready so I can mark that similar to an inside pitch, but I don't need that because we've got fatigued starter cards. So that's actually very convenient. And hey, look at that. I can even keep them both on camera so I can see what actually happens with the changes to the pitcher. We'll get ready for the top of the 8th, though, as the heart of San Francisco's order. Actually, wait. Viola should be the pitcher here. Never mind. As I was saying, we'll get ready for the top of the 8th with the heart of San Francisco's order due up next. Top of the 8th now, with the Giants still up 2-0, and we're going to have activity in the Mets bullpen as Rich Silver is going to start warming up for the game to come into the game. Coming up to bat now for the Giants will be Will Clark. Clark is 2 for 3. He's got a single and a double tonight. Viola will also be tired after this inning if they don't pull him before this. Viola will get the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. That's a defense check, so this time we're checking on... Got an error chance on the shortstop. That's hit to short. Going after that is Kevin Elster. His error rating is a 3, so he wants a 47 and up to make the play. That's a 35. He's going to boot that one, and Clark's going to end up at first on the E6. So Clark reaches on Elster booting the ball. Infield will move to double play depth as Kevin Mitchell will now step into the batter's box. Mitchell is 0 for 3 tonight. Viola looking over at Clark with a runner on all of a sudden. He'll get the sign here. He'll get the sign and the pitch. Snake Eyes is an in-play check. That's a 19. And against a lefty, that's going to be a base hit. Where's it going? Line drive into center field. Runner on first advances 1 base. So Clark's going to end up at second. Mitchell will end up at first with a seeing eye single. And due up to bat next will be Matt Williams. And that's going to be it for Frank Viola. So I'll compile stats for him real quick. 7 plus, gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 1 walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts. None of any of that. Coming in to pitch for the Mets will be Rich Sauver with a very ugly stat line. He'll be the second Mets pitcher tonight. Very ugly stat line in 91. Infield is still at double play depth as suddenly we've got runners on second and third. 2-0 Giants, but they are threatening here in the top of the 8th. Sauver looks at the runners that he's inherited and the situation he's in. He gets the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 8. Oh, so of course, against the lefty, Williams is going to get a hold of that one. Boom! That ball is high. That ball is deep to left field. And turning around to watch that one go into the stands is Miller. Home run, Matt Williams. 5-0 San Francisco. Stadium barfs. Blech. Section 518 scatters. Whoa! That was hit right into them. And just like that, San Francisco has blown this game open as Robbie Thompson will step into the batter's box. Thompson is 0 for 3. We'll get more activity in the Mets bullpen already as we're going to get another reliever warming up. They're going to start Jeff Innes warming up in the bullpen. Section 518 is not happy with that at all. Sauver proceeds to... Fortunately for Sauver's ERA, though, only one of those runs is his because 2 of those base runners were Viola's. Sauver will wait for the sign from Thompson, and here's the pitch. 3 is a defense check, so who are we checking this time? Error to the shortstops. That ball is hit to short. Going after that is Kevin Elster. His error rating is a 3. He wants a 47 and up to make the play. Wait, that's a 47 and up to not make an error. That's a 74. This time he'll make up for his earlier error that caused a 3-run homer. He'll get it over to Magadan at first, and that'll be a 6-3 put out for the first out of the inning. As next up will be the catcher, Steve Decker. We're also going to get some activity in the San Francisco bullpen here, as they're going to get... Who are they going to get loosening up? They're going to get... They're going to get Mike Remlinger warming up in the Giants' bullpen. There's a good chance Viola is going to be hitting this inning. Or not Viola. There's a good chance Black is going to be hitting this inning the way the inning's going. So the Giants are going to make sure they've got somebody ready to take over on the mound. Decker is 0 for 3. He's struck out and grounded out twice. Sauver waits for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 6 is a patient 36. Against a lefty, fortunately for the Mets, that's going to be too high. 36, that's going to be a ground ball right back to Sauver. He'll flip it over to Magadan at first, and that will be the second out of the inning. Next batter will be Dave Anderson. Anderson is 1 for 3. He had a single back in the 4th. Sauver trying to get out of the inning. He gets the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. That's a defense check. Who are we checking this time? Range play on the first baseman. That ball is hit the first. Going after that is Dave Mogadon. His range is a C. He wants a 47 and up to make the play. That's a 96. He'll make that play easily over toward the line. He'll take it to the bag himself and retire the side. 2 hits, an error, and a 3-run... One of those hits being a 3-run bomb by Matt Williams with 3 runs to make it 5-0 Giants after 7.5. Buddy Black is going to come out of the game, so we're not going to have a fatigued starting pitcher to worry about. I'll compile stats for him. 7 innings pitched. 1, 2... 2 hits, no runs. Looks like he had 1 walk, struck out 1, 2, and none of that. So coming in to pitch for the Giants will be Mike Remlinger. He'll be the second Giants pitcher tonight. As we'll have the bottom of New York's order due up next. First up will be Kevin Elster. Elster's 1 for 2, and he had the costly error that led to the 3-run homer by Williams earlier in this inning. Remlinger will wait for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 86. 86, that's going to be grounded to short. Getting to that one will be Anderson. He'll move it over to first for the first out of the inning. Next up will be Rick Cerrone. Cerrone is 0 for 2. We've got some more activity in the Mets bullpen as well, as Jeff Innes is starting to get loose. As the pitcher spot is due up third, but I imagine they're going to try to pinch hit for Sauver here. Remlinger will get the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. 5 is an in-play 34. Against a lefty, that's going to be a base hit. Cerrone will reach with a seeing eye single with 1 out. As next up, the infield will move to double play depth. That will be it for Sauver. We'll compile stats here for him. 1. Gave up 1 hit. 1 run. And goose eggs all around. So coming in to pinch hit for the Mets, we want somebody who hits left-handed pitching well. Coming in to pinch hit for the Mets will be Kevin McReynolds. He seems to do a pretty good job with left-handed pitching. So Kevin will come in and try to do something with this 1-out situation with a runner on base, trying to get at least something going for the Shea Stadium faithful. Remlinger will settle in, waiting for the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. That's a tough 94. 94, that's going to get skied to left field. Getting under that one will be Mitchell. He'll make the catch for out number 2. That'll bring Keith Miller up to the plate. Miller is 0 for 3 tonight. Remlinger hoping for a nice, easy inning with Cerrone over at first. Remlinger will cast a cursory glance over to Cerrone, and here's the pitch. That's a tough 98, which is going to get skied to left field. Getting under that one this time will once again be Mitchell, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Mets. And it will remain 5-0 Giants as we get ready for the bottom of the 9th. Or the top of the 9th, I should say. We'll get ready for the top of the 9th as the Mets will need a new pitcher. Our first order of business is the Mets need a new pitcher. Coming into pitch will be Jeff Innes for the Mets. And leading off the top of the ninth will be Mike Remlinger. They can give him some innings, so they're going to let him bat. He bats off of pitcher hitting card number 1. So Innes is coming in right away to face the pitcher. Remlinger is going to try to finish this game. Innes will wait for the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. 9 is an in-play 32. That's going to be too high. That's going to get grounded over to third. Magadan will take that to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. And I just did it again. So, John Innes. Okay. Next up will be the center fielder, Darren Lewis. He's 2 for 3 with a single, a triple, and a walk today. So he's reached base 3 times. Innes will wait for the sign, and here's the pitch. That's a defense check, so this ball's hit to the shortstop. Going after that, that's a ground ball to short. Going after that is Elster. His error rating is a 3, so he wants a 47 and up once again to make the play. He had a very costly error back in the 8th. Does he make another one here? That's a 9. He's going to boot that one and trip over it trying to get control of it. And Lewis is going to find himself on with a second error on Elster today. Mets fan, the stadium groans. Ugh. Stepping into the batter's box now is the right fielder, Mike Felder. He is 2 for 4. Innes looks over at Lewis at first. Infield will play at double play depth. Felder does not hit into a lot of double plays, though. Innes will get the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. That's an in-play 87. That's way too high, but that's going to be grounded to short, though. Elster will get to that one. On a 2d6, we need a 4 or less for a twin killing. No, the play will be to second, where Lewis will be thrown out. Felder will reach on the 6-4 fielder's choice. And there will be 2 outs in the inning, as Clark will next step into the batter's box. Clark is 2 for 3. He had a single and a double, and he reached on the aforementioned costly error back in the 8th. Innes with 2 out, trying to get out of the inning to give the Mets a chance, even though Giants pitching has been lights out today. Innes will get the sign from Cerrone, and here's the pitch. That's a defense check, so who are we checking? Error on the first baseman. If that ball is hit to first, going after that is Dave Magadan. His error rating is a 3, so he wants a 47 and up to make the play. That's a 57. He'll get that down the line, just on the fair side, to take it to the bag himself, and retire the side. Nothing across except for the error, and the score remains 5-0 New York. But will we see some 9th inning magic? They're going to leave Remlinger out there to try to get this game over with, as Magadan will step into the batter's box next. Magadan is 0 for 2. He had a walk back in the 6th. Remlinger will get the sign from Decker once I pick up the dice. And here comes the stretch and the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 46. And that's going to get grounded to first. Clark will get that. He'll take it to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. Next up will be Jeffries. Jeffries is 1 for 3 with a single. Remlinger looks in at Decker. He gets the sign. And here comes the pitch. 8 is a tough 2. And that's going to be a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Jeffries thought it was outside, but it caught enough of the plate to be called strike 3, and there will be 2 outs in the inning. Last chance for the Mets tonight is Hubie Brooks. Brooks is 0 for 3. He lined out, hit into a fielder's choice, and grounded out. Giants trying to get this game over with. Remlinger gets the sign from Decker, and here's the pitch. That's an in-play 57, but that's going to be just too high. That's going to get flied to right field. Getting under that one will be Felder. He'll take a couple steps back, come in a little bit, stick out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. Giants have a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the ninth and finish this one up with a 5-0 victory. Stadium groans. Ugh. Final line score coming up. For the Giants, 5 runs on 10 hits and no errors. The Mets, no runs on 3 hits and 2 errors. Buddy Black will be your winning pitcher. Viola will eat the loss. Remlinger will end up with a hold. No save because the lead was too big for a save situation. So that's how the Giants and the Mets turned out. How did your team turn out on July 17th, 1991? Once I change the battery, we'll ask the ticker and find out. We're all set to run the ticker tape here, brought to you by Fast Score Baseball. The Giants traveled to Shea Stadium and beat up on the Mets 5-0. How did the rest of the majors fare? Well, let's find out. As usual, I'll be using pink dice for the away team, yellow dice for the home team. July 17th, 1991, let's start off with the Red Sox and the White Sox. Red Sox, 1233, that is 4. White Sox, 416 is 1. That will be a win for Roger Clemens and the Red Sox. Rangers and the Tigers. Rangers, 2165 is 11. Tigers, 1264 is 8. That will be a win for the Rangers. Orioles and the Royals. Orioles, 1663 is 9. Royals, 1216 is 2. That will be a win for the Orioles. Mariners and the Brewers. Mariners, 651 is 5. Brewers, 1112 is 1. That will be a win for the Mariners. All road teams so far. Indians and the Athletics. Indians, 861 is 6. Athletics, 1053 is also 6. They will go to extras. Indians will roll a 2, -1 is 1. Athletics roll a 6, +3 is 9. That will be a win for the Athletics and extras, our first home team winning today. Cubs and the Braves. Cubs, 1025 is 3. Braves, 1121 is 2. That will be a win for the Cubs. Cardinals and the Reds. Cardinals, 1354 is 6. Reds, 1011 is a goose egg. That game will belong to the Redbirds. Padres and the Expos. Pull both the yellow dice through. Where did the yellow... Oh, That one's stuck in the tower. There we go. Padres 032 is 2. Expos 863 is probably more than 2. Yep, that's 7. That will be a win for the Expos. Dodgers and the Phillies. Dodgers 615 is 1. Phillies 135 is 3. That will be a win for the Phillies. Last up, Astros and the Pirates. Astros 424 is 2. Pirates 1516 is 3. That will be a win for the Pirates. And that will do it for this playthrough of Payoff Pitch Baseball. Busy weekend coming up on the channel. Saturday we're going to have a double upload, as Mystical Munchies will be featuring the dessert out of the official Halo cookbook, chocolate cream pie. We're also going to be running our last baseball test on Saturday afternoon as we play season ticket baseball with a 2002 matchup lined up, as the Red Sox will be going to Anaheim to take on the Angels. Pedro Martinez will be going for the Red Sox, and Ramon Ortiz will be going for the Angels. As for Sunday, we're going to be making good on our greatest boxer tournament pick from Title Bout 2, the Title Bout 2 tournament last year from Matthew, as we play the Plum Island Horror from GMT Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.